what is going on? It is Donald Poe Photography, and I'm gonna show you the best mirrorless camera you can buy for $400 and under. The Fujifilm XT-1. I am currently recording this on my XT-2. That is my video camera. I love this camera, honestly. The XT-2, beautiful. X-Trans 3 sensor, great. But let's talk about the XT-1. Now the XT-1 is the first in the XT line. It has the X-Trans 2 sensor, and personally I prefer the X-Trans 2 sensor. It produces really good images. I've actually printed some images in this book right here. Let's open it up real quick. Scroll. I brought this to New York City actually. Almost there. There we go. This picture of my friend John and his wife Mo, and I took this with. It was literally I unboxed it. So I made an unboxing video, and I literally took it to New York the same day. I attached a Minolta 58mm 1.2. This lens I want to talk about soon is a banger of a lens. It produces a nice streaming result if you have it down to 1.2, and it is kind of heavy, but people say you always need a wider lens to shoot street and stuff, but I shot street with this literal setup, the XT-1 and the 58 1.2. I shot street with it and I got really great results, even though because it's a crop sensor it's gonna be a little tighter. That doesn't matter. The results is such a great camera, bro. And the lens is a great lens, honestly. I love the shutter sound it makes. It came out in 2014. It is 16 megapixels, and people thrash the 16 megapixel, the whole megapixel wall. I don't like it at all. With the XT-1, I personally think that the files from it are really good. I printed photos in this book, and I printed like little 4x6s. I don't have one on my desk that I could just pull out real quick. It's actually at my girlfriend's house, and the images look great. They look great as wallpaper. Where's my phone? Nope, that's the 5D Mark II one. Let me just hit it again. That's an X100V picture. That's an X100V picture. X100V picture. You can just click through your photos. Oh, there it is. That's a picture I took with the XT-1, and it looks great on a screen, and it looks great in a book, and it looks great in a 4x6. So do you really need the latest and greatest gear? No, you don't. Sally or Billy? No, you don't. The XT-1 is the perfect camera for a regular, just hobbyist. You want to get into mirrorless because you can put any glass on there? XT-1. Now the XT-1 is cool, and it has its quirks and its features, but say you want to record video, right? It has a little video button right here, and honestly the video is pretty good. I actually recorded one review with the video, and it is I believe it is movie mode. It goes 1080-60, which isn't bad. That's crazy. 1080-60. This camera is almost 10 years old, and it shoots 1080-60. And it's just smooth. It's nice. I prefer the camera. The images are great. It has classic chrome. Now the X-Trans 2 sensor unfortunately doesn't have acros. I'm a big acros fanboy. I stan acros, but it doesn't have acros. But that's okay. We got classic chrome. I use classic chrome as a base for my photos because I don't really like to edit my Fujifilm photos, but sometimes I use it as a base. And man, I love these JPEGs. These JPEGs are amazing. I don't shoot RAW with Fujifilm at all, especially this camera. So I got this camera for $350, and it was mint. And the guy was like, "Yeah, it's in good condition." The camera only had 4,000 shutter clicks. That's brand new, and the grip is still sticky. That's how new this camera is. It's made in Japan, like the XT-2, so it's well built, and it's a great feeling camera in the hands. So the camera was originally $1,700 or $1,799. I got it for $350, and honestly, I can't stop picking this camera up. Like, whenever I do street, even though I have an XT-1, I just gravitate towards this. Maybe it's because the Minolta glass that my grandfather left me, but it's just my great grandfather. My apologies, my great grandfather. It's just so good. He was a photographer, and this lens paired with the Fujifilm XT-1, it makes a solid lens. It makes a solid lens in body. This actually came with the Minolta 50mm, and I was like, okay, but I got this lens, and it's from my grandpa, so I'm my great grandpa, so I'm gonna use it. And this camera, it only like starts at 4,000 per 1 out of 4,000 of a second, but I usually shoot it at 125, and it only goes up to 6400 ISO. But who shoots past 1500, 1600 ISO on a regular basis? I usually stay in like 200 or like the 400 range, and I try to keep my shutter speed. I try to keep my ISO low. I don't know. I just do that. It's just me. And then my aperture 5.6. 1.2 if it's like nighttime or I'm trying to get a dreamy effect. But this lens and this body is just a beautiful combination. I recommend wholeheartedly. But this body alone, for $350, it is the best mirrorless camera you can buy. You can maybe find it for $350 like me, or you can maybe find it for $400. Still, it is the best mirrorless camera you can buy under $500. It is a solid built camera, and choose 1080. You don't really need 4K. No one really watches 4K videos, let's be real. No one goes on their YouTube app and say, I'm gonna put it in 4K, 6K. Because you can't really tell the difference between 4K and 1080 if you're just being casual, because your internet's not that great, you know. I'm just joking. Maybe you got fast internet, maybe your LTE isn't lagging, but 1080 is still good to record nice little moments around the house of your family and of your friends, of course. This camera I designated towards my street camera, but I have an XT-1, but I just always lean towards this camera. There's something magical about the X-Trans 2 sensor. It is the best X-Trans sensor. I like the X-Trans 4 with the snappy autofocus and how sharp and clinical it looks. But this one has it's so nice. It's just, the colors it produces just like, wow. It makes you say, wow, you know? So, if you are looking for a mirrorless camera, get an XT-1. It only costs you, what, under $500? I like it. I prefer it. People will say, well, the autofocus isn't great. I don't really use autofocus. I'm old school, like what's his name? All the older photographers from the 80s and 70s. Any Leica shooters don't use autofocus, you know? So I don't know, I just use vintage glass. Vintage glass is I just like it. I only use autofocus if I'm shooting something fast. You don't really need autofocus if you're just a portrait photographer, you know? I like to take pictures of people. Street autofocus is also nice, but if you just post it up looking for the right moment, you don't really need autofocus, you know? Zone focusing. But I want to thank you guys and gals for watching. I appreciate you guys and gals. Thank you for hitting over 100 subs. I am beyond grateful. Thank you for always tuning in and showing love. Thank you for commenting. Please comment if you have a Fujifilm body or you have any camera in general. I just want to talk to you, you know? If you have an XT-1, please comment and just tell everyone how much you like it, so people know, I don't need the newest and latest gear. If you have the money for the newest and latest gear, be my guest. Go buy it, you know? Who am I? I'm just a guy on the internet talking about cameras. But if you're on a budget, the XT-1, you can't beat it. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. I already said that, but see you guys later.